Welcome, everyone, to Mindful Moments. I'm really happy to have Louise Shanagher with us. She's been on several of our summits before, and many of you in the mindfulness community will recognize her. She is a children's therapist and mindfulness teacher and a psychology lecturer in Ireland. She runs wonderful courses, and what I really love about Louise is how creative she is and how she brings the arts into mindfulness for children. She has a curriculum and a teacher training program, and just does lots of wonderful work. And she's an author as well of the Mindfully Me series. So today she has some new books, so we're here to talk about those. So welcome, Louise, and thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you, Helen. I'm delighted to be here.
Great. So tell me, first of all, what inspired you to write this Kindfully Me series?
Okay, so I had written the Mindfully Me series, which I felt was focusing on maybe our awareness practices and mindfulness of emotions and a little bit of self-compassion. And in my own practice throughout the years, I've really resonated with the aspect of bringing kindness and kind attention to our awareness. And I often think of, and I know Tara Brach talks about it a lot, the two wings of the bird, and one wing being awareness and presence, and the other wing being kindness and compassion. And I wanted to focus a series around those themes of loving kindness, kindness for ourselves and others, and gratitude. And I felt that, even just to go with my trainings as well, I felt like that there was maybe a gap for books focusing on those, and there's plenty of mindfulness books out now, but not so many around self-compassion, loving kindness and gratitude. So I wanted to write something to fit that area as well. So
yeah. Wonderful. And the books are beautiful. Do you have any that you can hold up?
So there's 3 books.
Beautiful illustrations.
Yeah, the illustrations are Una Wood, so that's Kind Wishes. And this is about the loving kindness practice. And she's done lovely illustrations, and there's lots of diversity in them, which I think is lovely. She has, children who are in a wheelchair, and blind children, and children from all sorts of different countries, and that was really important. We wanted to really show that diversity and the sense that we're all deserving of love. And although we might look different on the inside or the outside, that really on the inside we all just want to be happy and loved. So putting across that message. And then the second one is Kindness is Contagious, and this is about the importance of being kind to both ourselves and others, and that it's equally important to be kind to yourself as it is to others, and that we can fill up our own cup of kindness, and then as we do that, it overflows then to others in the world around us. And then the third book is called Thankfully Me, and this is about how we practice the practice of gratitude, and that when we practice gratitude, that helps us feel good inside, and it helps our heart feel warm and happy. And all the books touch on that we link in these practices with them of loving kindness, of compassion for self and others, of gratitude with the felt bodily experience. So how does it feel inside when I practice these positive attributes or positive practices? Yeah.
Wonderful. And why do you think it's so important that we include kindness in our mindfulness practice?
I think kindness is so important for so many different reasons. And I feel like when we practice mindfulness, it's like we're shining a light of awareness, and we can shine that on maybe our inner world and what's happening around us. And sometimes we see wonderful things, and sometimes we find things that are a bit uncomfortable or maybe a bit scary or maybe difficult emotions. So that's when it's really important to bring kindness to our attention, and compassion and softness. And I love Rick Hanson's analogy of the garden when he talks about mindfulness, and he says that, in a way we can look at mindfulness like a garden, And one part of it is observing the garden, which is our presence and awareness. And then we can pull the weeds, so we can maybe let go of some worries and let go of some stress. And then also we can grow the flowers, which is cultivating the positive attributes. So cultivating kindness, cultivating gratitude, and cultivating compassion. And it links in with what Shauna Shapiro always says about what we practice grows stronger. So what we pay attention to will grow in our lives, as well as grow in our brains with the plasticity of the brain. So yeah, I feel like it's so important. I feel like as we practice, our presence and our kindness are equally important. And when we bring them together, then it's really, really special for both ourselves and others. It's a wonderful gift to give ourselves and others around us.
Yeah, very well said, and I love that analogy too from Rick Hansen of the garden. Louise, tell us some of the ways that we can teach children to be kind to themselves and to others. I know you've got lots of creative ideas, so if you could share some with us, we would love that.
Of course, yeah. So I have a very creative way of working. It's called creative mindfulness case. I love to make things, and I find that helps children get that, I suppose, tangible experience as well, and have something to take home with them and to use as an anchor at home to work with the practices. So I'm going to just show you a few ideas. I've loads around me now. I don't know how many I'll get through. But the first thing when I talk about kindness for children is that we need to start with ourselves, because often children, and I know when I was a child, and still, even as adults, we get the message it's so important to be kind to others, but we mightn't, maybe much more rarely get the message that it's important to be kind to ourselves. So I'd always tell children that it's equally important to be kind to ourselves as it is to be kind to others. So when I start with kindness activities, I always start with the kindness to the self. And I think a lovely activity to do with all ages, even teenagers, even adults, is the inner friend activity. And it's that we ask children to imagine their most kindest, most loving, most friendliest, most wise friend, and we give it a name, and then we make the inner friend. So this is one that I've made here, and we might call the inner friend maybe Kira, for example. And then we might think of, well, what kind of things will Kira say? And what kind of words would she use? And what kind of things might she tell me to do? And then what we can do is we can give the children, now for younger children, we can do this with pictures, but for older children, just on pieces of paper. So we have here, so they can write maybe things that Kira might say. So you are important, or you can talk about your feelings, or do your breathing, or you are kind. And children can add to this as well. So they're putting in not just kind words, but also kind actions as well, because that's part of self-care too. So then when children have a difficulty or any day, they can just go to Kira and think, well, put their hand in the bag and think, oh, what will I do today? And the idea is that they're building up that kind, compassionate inner voice. And of course, the inner critic will come along at some stage, but it's that there's an anchor there and a practice of building and focusing on that kind, compassionate inner voice, and what we know that what we focus on grows stronger. So I feel that's a really lovely activity for all different ages.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah. Will I show you some more? Is that okay?
Sure, that would be great.
Yeah. Okay. So then I feel like another lovely activity that I really like to do, and some of these I do with adults as well, is the cup of sunshine activity. And I'd say that inside all of us, we have a cup of sunshine, and that's our cup of happiness. And when our cup of happiness is full, that we feel maybe, and I can use pictures to describe this, maybe sunny inside or light. And there's lots of things we can do to fill up our cup of happiness. And they might be the kind things we say to ourselves, like you're a good friend, or maybe putting our hands on our heart or giving yourself a hug. But it can also be actions, like it can be going to bed early, or it can be speaking to a friend about a problem, or it can be eating healthy food. So it's really helping children reflect on, what does it mean to be kind? What does it mean? Because whenever I say this to kids at a young age, they find it very difficult to think of, well, how do I be kind to myself? Even adults find that difficult. So we have to teach that explicitly. So so then on little pieces of yellow paper, or you can do it with pictures for younger kids. Maybe they can write or draw the things that fill up their cup of sunshine. So being kind to yourself, doing my breathing, and going for a walk. And a nice way to do this then is to give children, I have this done in a cup, but you can do it with like little paper yellow cups, and then they can draw in what fills up their cup of sunshine. And this is a nice thing to do for both themselves and others. So you can say, well, what fills up my cup of sunshine, and what fills up my mummy's cup of sunshine, or what fills up my friend's cup of sunshine. So then they get a sense of kind of more empathy for others, and they learn ways that they can help fill up someone else's cup of sunshine. We can also teach them about what empties their cup of sunshine, and they can think about things that actually empty the cup of sunshine. So it might be when I stay up too late, it empties my cup of sunshine, or when I say mean things to myself, it empties my cup of sunshine, or when I keep my worries in, it empties my cup of sunshine. So I find just having that tangible physical object that they can add into and take out of really helps teach them children around self-care and kindness for themselves and others. So can I show you some
great activity? Yeah.
Okay, so then there's lots of kind of nice little ones around self-kindness as well. Like one thing I really like is writing on mirrors. And if you can see this, it says, I am loved and I love to be me. You can do this with Posca markers, and you can, even on your own mirrors at home, you can write nice kind messages, because often the first thing we do, I know as adults, but I know for me anyway, when I look in the mirror, it's like, oh, what's wrong? My hair is back, you know, constantly that voice. So it's just so lovely to have something a little bit different. And this is especially good for girls as they get that little bit older, but good for any child. And this is an example for younger children. So you can get like a little paper plate and just a mirror sticker. And then I have written some affirmations around it, or else they could stick on little pictures of what they love about themselves or what makes them happy to be them. So that's another version of that. Another nice one is to have little affirmation bracelets. So just using your beads and your letter beads like this, and they can write kind messages to themselves and then have them on their hand. So I am just right, or take a breath, and they can give them to their friends as well for kindness towards others. So will I do another one maybe for kindness?
Yeah, let's do one last one. Yeah.
One more. Okay, one I really, really like is this one, the kind wishes, wishing well, if you can see here.
Yeah.
And you can make up a little wishing well. And this is working with metta, or loving kindness. So we can do maybe the story with children. And I know Nikki Fine has a lovely story about loving kindness as well. Or you don't have to have a story, you can just maybe do the meditation. And then afterwards, the children can make some kind wishes. So maybe to give out some stars like this. And then you can go through different types of kind wishes. So we'll start off with make a kind wish for your family. And they can draw or write their kind wish and then post it in the wishing well, and then to notice how they feel inside when they make the kind wish, because that part is really important. That's our presence part, that we're noticing how does it feel inside when I make the kind wish, or when I practice gratitude, or when I'm compassionate, because we actually realize, and the science shows us, that it feels good inside. when we practice these positive attributes, it makes us feel happy. So then children have an internal motivation to practice it because it feels good. And we could make a kind wish for animals. So this is when I wish all the animals will be safe. Or we can make a kind wish for someone that we don't know well. Or we could even make a kind wish for someone who we find hard to like, and notice how that feels inside. And then we can make kind wishes for ourselves as well. So that's a nice one to do. And children really like doing that. And they can make their own individual wishing well, or they can do one for the class. And just another variation on that is the kind wishes tree. So you can just do it with a little branch and hang the kind wishes on the tree. So I have lots more around me, but I know we have a limited time. So I don't know. I hope that was helpful to give a few ideas anyway.
Yeah, that's really wonderful. As I said, you're so creative, and I love how you make things very tangible for children. And the series looks great, and something, as you said, there's not many books out there that are kind of focusing on that, and it's such an important thing to help children to know about and to learn. So really excited to read my copies of the books as well, and share them with the students that I'm working with.
Thanks, Helen. And just to say that there's workbook pages at the back of the books. There's about 4 in each book, I think. So I've all of them up on my website. So there's 12 workbook pages altogether. And so they can be downloaded and used as many times as you like if you want to work on these practices with your children at home, or in school if you're a teacher. And you can use them as many times as you like. So just to say that.
Wonderful. Yes. So we'll have a links to how you can order the books, which is through Louise's website, and we'll also have the links to those things. But she has. I recommend you follow her on social media as well, because she's always sharing lots of fun ideas and practices that we can use with the kids that we're working with. So thank you so much, Louise, for coming on and for sharing with us today.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
And congratulations on the books.
Thank you so much.